What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Okay, so today I'm going to be making some saltfish and sachets fritters for you. So there are the ingredients that I'm going to be using. Okay, there's my sachets cut up. I mince it up fine like how I want it to. Some water. In the bowl is some tomato and onion, and there I'm showing you guys my green mix that I blend up together. That is just some celery, parsley, and scallion and garlic blend together. So my dry ingredients, I'm using a little baking powder with flour and salt. That's what I'm using for my dry ingredients. I'm using all-purpose flour. Okay, guys, and I put just a little tablespoon of baking powder in there. Or baking powder is optional if you want to. So now I'm going to be adding in my water in my dry ingredients. Okay, so I'm going to be adding in the water in the dry ingredients until I get the flour at the texture that I want it to. It's not too watery and it's not too thick, just a little mild. What? No, not mild, I should say in between soft and hard. So yes, a nice texture. Okay, yeah. All right, so I'm just mixing that together before I start adding in my sachets and tomato and onion inside of there, getting it to the texture that I want first before I start to add in all those goodness inside of there. Okay, guys, yes. So I'm making make sure no lumps and bumps in there. So that's why you see me mixing up to make sure the mixture is well smooth. All right, yes. Before I start adding in my ingredients, so first I put in my tomato and my onion inside of there. Yes. So now I'm going to be adding in my sachets. You can add as much sachets as you want, guys. With fritters, you can put whatever you like inside the fritters. Okay, you can make the fritters how you like it. All right, some people like to mix it up and put a lot of different stuff in there. I like tomato and onion, that's why I put it in mine. Okay, so I'm going to be adding in some of my green mixture inside of there. Guys, if you could smell that mixture, man, you can use this mixture in about anything. When you blend those stuff together, you can use it in anything. It smells so good, man. That's one of my go-to seasoning. When you have that seasoning, you can just use that alone on your meat and it's good. All right, so now it's time for the saltfish. I've been soaking my saltfish for like half an hour. I put my saltfish aside to soak. Yeah, so now I'm just peeling off the skin outside the saltfish. You don't have to boil your saltfish, you just can put it ahead of time to be soaked of the salt, and the skin will come off just as easily as well. You don't have to boil it. Okay, yes, and it's all soft and nice to be used. All right, yes, so now I'm just picking it up to the size that I want and taking out the bone inside of it, because I'm not going to be using the bone inside of the fritters. So I'm taking out the bones and mincing it up to the size that I want it before I had it inside of the fritters. Okay, yes, so now I'm just making sure the pieces that are small enough that I want it to with a knife. Okay, you can make it as the size saltfish as big as you want, small as you want. You know, it's actually what you like. Yes, guys, so I'm just mincing up to the size that I want it inside of the fritter batter. All right, so now I finished that. I'm going to rinse it another time before I had it inside of the fritters. Okay, yes, and I should mention I use just a pinch of salt inside of there, because remember that the saltfish is salty. No matter how you soak it or how you boil it, remember it always salt always remain on it. So be careful how much salt you add inside of the fritter batter. All right, yes. Now my butter is just the right texture how I want it. All right, yes. So now it's time for me to go ahead and to start frying, guys. Yes. Okay, so now there I have my pot on and the fire is not too high. Remember, don't turn up the fire too high. All right, guys. Yes. So I'm just testing my pot to see if it oil is ready. Yes, you see that? It's bubbling. That means yes, I can go ahead and start adding in my butter. All right, and remember not to use a lot of oil inside of the pot because the fritter will suck up all of the oil. All right, and you have some really greasy fritters. So just put a little oil in the pot just to level off at the bottom of the pot. All right, because fritters they do soak up oil. All right, and you have some oily fritters, so don't use a lot of oil when you're frying the fritters, guys. Remember that. All right, yes. So these are some smaller size that I'm going to be doing right now. I'm going to be making some big size as well, but the first batch is some small size that I'm adding in. All right, so you guys can see you can do any size fritters that you can make one big one if you want, some small one, some medium size one, any size you want. It's all about what you like. Okay, so I'm doing some small size at first. All right, yes. So well, you know that it's time to turn it and you flip it and you look if it is brown and look at the top. You see all those bubbles? Yes, I'm pointing it out. Look. Yes, you know it can be turned. All right, yes, and they're brown and nice and crispy on the side. All right, so you turn it. If you turn it around and you see it look too white, it just make it go and fry for 1 minute or two before you turn it over. All right, yes. So there I'm checking to make sure all of them are ready to turn or not. So the ones that are not ready, I leave them for another minute or so before I actually flip them over. All right, so now I'm just taking them out. So I spread a piece of dry towel on my plate before I put the fritters on them, because you want to try to leak off some of the extra grease that's on the fritters. All right, yes, the towel will soak them up. Yes, so now I'm going to be doing some bigger ones than the ones that I did before. All right, before I had 9 fritters in the pot, so this time it's going to only be 6 fritters because I made them a little bigger than I did before. So you put the butter in the pot, guys, remember to do, you kind of like flatten it out, spread it out a little bit. Yes, to make it flat and nice and not too bumpy. Yes, so I'm doing this one a little bigger than the ones that I did before. All right, yes, like I told you guys, you can do them to the size that you like. It's all about what you like. You make it any size you want, and you can put anything you want inside of your fritters. All right, yes, that's the niceness about it. All right, so these are ready to be flipped over. Yes, so now I'm just flipping them over. Yes, so them brown and nice and crispy on that side. Yes, so it's ready. And you see all the little bubbles on the top of them? Yeah, time to flip it over. Yes. Okay, guys. So like I tell you, if you turn it and you see it's not brown and crispy on the side, you just leave it and leave it there for a minute or two and make it go on fry. Those two weren't ready, sure weren't not. So I just leave them there to be soak up some more. All right, so it's time to take them out. All right, yes, I'm just taking out my batter, my fritters. Sorry, my fritters now. All right, yes, so those are the last set that I was frying and I'm finished. So there you have it, guys, my beautiful, nice, crunchy, delicious saltfish and such fritters. Bye, and I see you all in my next video.